Ethiopia has indeed received a lot of foreign aid in the last several years, but I would rather try to challenge that statement itself. I mean, yes, Ethiopia has received a lot of aid, but compared to many other countries, the per capita aid that goes to Ethiopia has been quite low until recently. It's only recently that Ethiopia started getting its share, actually. So that's a note of correction in my mind, as far as I'm concerned. But you know, the support that has been going to Ethiopia was mostly directed towards humanitarian assistance. That's relief. When you have disaster, they were more targeted to help those people who were in distress. So they were not targeted rather towards development and agendas. So that is one. And secondly, I think you have to think of the magnitude of the problem. I mean, it all depends where you start from. The base has already been significant. And I think according to the government figures, poverty, I mean, the number of poor people has quite declined significantly in recent years, according to government official statistics, from something like 44-45% to something like 30%. So I think that if you believe the statistics, that's in itself is quite good. So I mean, I think it's only recently that donors have started focusing on development and more sustainable development interventions rather than relief kind of intervention. So the aid that was coming to Ethiopia was more or less a relief type of intervention. And that does not really help very much to solve the problem. So I mean, I think that's the way I look at it.
In terms of combating poverty,
I think one would have to look into the policy measures in the first place. I think there were some good policies that were focused on the rural poor, or on the rural sector in particular, because that's where you have most of the poor people. So in terms of that policy interventions, I think in terms of direction they were directed, focused particularly to the poor and the rural poor in particular. So the Ethiopian development strategy is more or less centered on the rural areas. The development strategy of the country was or is still called agriculture development-led industrialization, which considers agriculture to be the engine of growth. And I think in the context of developing countries, I think focusing on agriculture is critical and essential. I think that's where you have to intervene first in order to really tackle the problem of poverty. And that is where you have most of the poor people live. So agriculture development industrialization is one policy, one development strategy. It's a broader development strategy that has focused on rural areas. And in fact, our criticism of this policy was it was too much rural-based. It was biased towards rural areas, and it was ignoring the demand side that is there on the side. No, there are no subsidies at the moment for small farmers, but there are a lot of support that are going to the agriculture sector. Like you have a lot of training that's going on, a lot of agricultural extension workers being trained. That could make a difference. In management, yeah, most of the management issues. So I think subsidy is not there, and that's one of the complaints that people have yet. But if you take the market system, it has improved a lot. because you have to start from where you come from. Before 20 years, we had a centralized system, we have a state delivery system, we have a system that was not creating any incentive for producers. But now that system has been changed. It's the market-based system. So, all these will have contributed to this thing. So, if you ask the policymakers, I think they attribute this success more than anything else to the policy direction. Well, in terms of directions, I have no problem.
So you would confirm this as a scientist?
Well, I don't know really whether the figures are true. Of course, I don't have I have not verified those figures, but I think in terms of direction there is a change. Very often I'm not very much interested in the absolute figures. For instance, over the last several years, the government is saying that the economy, GDP has been growing by more than 10% over the last 7 years. I do not, many people don't subscribe those figures. I don't care about those figures, but I see there is a change. Oh yes, I think many things are changing. Ethiopia today is a different Ethiopia than many people know. Ethiopia is a different country today. If you come to Ethiopia, you see a lot of new things happening spontaneously, and people are simply amazed. But there is still more to do to these things.
Thank you for the interview.
You're welcome.